Someone needs to get out of Facebook.
No, hold on. We're live.
Someone needs to get out of Facebook.
No, hold on. We're live. Technical difficulties, and we're fixing it.
Someone needs to get out of Facebook.
Okay, I closed that enough. Okay, I think we are officially live on YouTube to stream live on Facebook. So we are shared and tagged on Facebook, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Amy?
Yes, I'm just.
We have had all kinds of technical difficulties. Yes. It's only taken us 54 minutes to make this happen, so bear with us.
I'm real quick just going to share it to my page so everyone can see. And then if you guys need to do that, there is a way to do that through YouTube. I am so glad that everyone has been patient. All right, let's get started. Okay, guys. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys. I know we are 55 minutes late, but you know what? This just goes to show that anyone can do this. We've had some technical difficulties and we are finally here. So we're just going to take a minute and introduce ourselves. My name is Amy Spence. I'm an ambassador diamond with the company, and I have been with the company for almost 5 years. So Ash, why don't you start us off, and you guys will hear a little bit more about my story a little bit later. But Ash, why don't you just kind of tell us your name? Obviously you're Ashley. A little bit about you and what kind of your life looked like before It Works and how you found It Works.
Awesome. Thank you. So you guys, my name's Ashley Rennell, and I have been with the business just a little over 5 years. Prior to this business, I was a full-time night shift labor and delivery nurse working 60 hours a week, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. with a 45-minute commute. I had a two-year-old. I had 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a newborn, and life was crazy. I did not have time to put anything else on my plate, nor the financial backing to think that I thought I was going to be investing into something insane, and that's not the case at all. But I had a lot of fear standing in my way, but we so desperately needed this income so I could get some of our time back, so I could own some of my own time, so I could be the mom that I wanted to be to my kids and be the wife I wanted to be and be the person in my house instead of raising everybody else's babies at the hospital instead of my own. So that's a little bit what my story looked like prior to It Works.
All right, what about you, Angela? I'm so excited to have you on. Angela just got a $10,000 bonus from our company last month. So tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been in the company and kind of how you found It Works.
Okay, well, I'm Angela Demerit, and I am a diamond leader with It Works. I've been with the company for just under 2 years. And before It Works, I was just a stay-at-home mom, a military spouse. We were living paycheck to paycheck. And I had 2 kids, a 1 and a 3-year-old. And I was overweight. I was depressed. And I had just found out my husband was going on an 18-month tour overseas. So I had to look at our finances, and I knew that we needed to do something. And I didn't want to take away from that time from my kids, knowing that their dad was already going to be away for so long at such a young age. And it was really heartbreaking for me, knowing that he's going on this tour and we couldn't go with him. So how did I hear about It Works? Well, I was actually a customer with It Works for over 2 years before I decided to join the company as a distributor. I I fell in love with the greens, and I first found them because I was looking for a way to alkalize my body so that we can conceive a baby boy. And that's a whole nother story in itself. But they worked. We have Mason now. He's 3 years old. And I wanted more product to help me get to where I wanted to be. I was unhealthy. I was depressed. I had no energy. I thought I had thyroid problems. And after I got that tested, they said that everything was within normal range. And I was like, okay, well, I need to do something. I need more product, but we can't afford it. We were already living paycheck to paycheck, and we were arguing over finances. So despite my husband's judgment, he said, no, don't do that. That's not something that is going to be good for us. I said, I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to prove you wrong. So
now you're here. I love it. I think a lot of us, I know a lot of people on my team joined despite their what their husband's thoughts were. My husband thought that I would be gone in like 2 weeks, and here I am 5 years later. Okay, Linz, tell us a little bit about you.
So my name is Lindsay Bishop, and for those of you who feel like, you're not outgoing, like you're not a salesperson, well, that's me. I was a full-time civil engineer when I started, and went to college, got my degree, obviously. And, that's what I was going to do the rest of my life, is be an engineer. And I thought nothing, like that's just what you did. So there was no outside of the box thinking for me, which is kind of odd considering I have an engineering background. And so, we figure things out, and that's just it. I have figured things out. So I worked an hour away from home. My husband did too. He's an engineer as well. And, my schedule was like, I would leave my house at 6 a.m., sometimes 6:15, because I have a problem with being on time. But I would have to drive an hour to work, and I would be there minimum 10 hours sometimes, or minimum 9 hours, sometimes 10, 11, 12 hours, and then drive an hour home. And literally it was get home, have dinner, and go to bed, and do the same thing all over again the next day for 5 days a week. And that was like okay with me at the time. I mean, that's just all I knew. And then Amy is my friend from college, and she was posting on Facebook, like many of you probably have seen your friends do. And I really just wanted I'd always been into health and wellness. So I just wanted I wanted to get back on track, but then I saw all these success stories with products and then the business. And that's what really made me be like, okay, if I can just make an extra $300 using the products as well, I really have nothing to lose. So I just did it. I had no idea what I was doing, totally scared. I was like, I only have 2 friends that I actually talk to. I don't use Facebook, but she's making it work. So I'm just going to do what she does. And I did.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love Lindsay's. I love how all of us came from such different backgrounds. Actually, Ashley delivered my baby 7 years ago, so I knew her before we even enrolled. I love that Angela had 2 small children. I had a little girl when I enrolled. Lindsay didn't have any children, which I think is so crazy. She joined for that nail money, so that her husband didn't have to get on to her or say anything about her doing her nails. I know that for me, I never thought that, when I was introduced to the company, I never thought I would be good at something like this. So I kind of want to talk about objections. And I forgot to tell you guys, I was a former school counselor and a head volleyball coach and assistant basketball coach. So the last thing I thought that I could do was add something else to my plate. And not to mention, my husband was a football coach. Our little girl was 2, and she was born with a very rare genetic disorder. And it was very time consuming at that point. It was expensive. And that ended up being the reason that I joined, because we just needed that extra $500. My husband literally, though, I remember looking at him saying, I just changed our lives. I just spent $99 that we really shouldn't have been spending. And he said, you better not spend more than you make. And I guarantee you in 1 month, you will be done, because I'm the queen of starting things and not following through with them. Really, I am, like workout videos and all that. But my objections, I know, and I kind of want to talk about this because I think it's so important right now. And I know that some of you guys that are watching, you probably have thought to yourself, especially if you're seeing your friends post and earning bonuses and all that, you've probably thought, oh my goodness, I could maybe do something like that if she can do it. But then immediately your mind starts telling you differently. And you start putting up those walls and those fears. And, you know, I know that all of us, I can't speak for Angela, but I know that all of us, because I know Ashley and Lindsay, we were approached with this business and this opportunity way before we ever enrolled. For me, I waited 7 months. And one of my biggest objections, you guys, was the time. Because here I was, a lot of days, especially during basketball season and volleyball season, I was getting home until like 6 o'clock at night, sometimes even later than that when we had away games. I was barely seeing my daughter. I just did not have, or I did not think that I had the time to put something else on my plate. But I will tell you that after 5 years of experience, I believe that the busiest people make the best distributors, because busy people know how to prioritize their time. They know how to manage their time. They know how to get things done. In fact, sometimes I joke around and say that I got more done when I was working full time than I do being a stay-at-home mom. So Ash, tell me a little bit about just maybe one or two, well, just one objection that you had, and and that objection made you like wait to enroll.
So you guys, I first heard about this business in 2014. So it's crazy. My son turns 8 tomorrow, and I was in a breastfeeding support group through the hospital with him. So I actually heard about it when I was on maternity leave with him 8 years ago. And I said no to the business for 36 months. It took me 3 years to join the business. But I mean, like Amy touched on, time, I didn't think I had the time. I thought that the market was saturated. Too many people were selling that I couldn't even sell Girl Scout cookies. But my biggest thing was like, we were physically drowning in debt. I was working 60 hours a week to keep, our lights. I mean, physically our lights turned on. My husband was working overtime for State Farm as a catastrophe claims rep or a claims investigator. And we were struggling still. We couldn't pay our propane bill to fill our propane tank to heat our house in the dead of winter with 2 small children. And so my thoughts were I don't have $99. I don't have 99 disposable dollars to throw into this on a chance. And so what I told my husband is I'm going to sell. I had a box of maternity clothes. I had just had a baby and I had a box of maternity clothes. I said, I'm going to sell these. And if I get them sold, then I'm going to turn around and invest that money. So that way I'm not pulling anything out of our checking account. I'm going to invest that money. And so that's what I did. I sold them. I posted them on a Facebook swap shop. I met a stranger in a parking lot and I sold her my maternity clothes. And what's crazy is she ended up joining my team down the road, but I used that money to turn around and invest in this business. And I know we're going to touch on it later, but all of us paid $100 to get into this business. And right now you can get into this business for 1/5 of that price, for $20. Think about what you spend $20 on. So if the financial side is an objection for you, like we have a way to overcome that. So that was my biggest thing, but I overcame that. And I've had people on my team donate blood plasma to get started, babysit, mow lawns, have a bake sale. I mean, literally, you can find something in your house to sell.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Ash, don't go into too much detail, but how long did it take you to finally enroll?
36 months. It was insane. And when I finally did reach out in December, like we got that bill that said that we're not going to fill your propane tank because you still haven't paid the last propane bill. And it was like $700. So then it was going to cost us another $700. So we were going to need $1,400 to get propane back into our tank. I messaged one of the girls that had been messaging me and I said, hey, tell me about those greens. I've never tried broccoli before. And that was like literally what I did because I didn't eat greens. I didn't eat vegetables. I literally didn't try broccoli till I was 34 years old. But
That's
I thought,
so funny.
I went to the hospital. I have a newborn. I don't eat healthy. I'm exhausted all the time. And so the greens were something that stuck out to me. And I prayed that she would ask me one more time to do the business. And she asked me a simple question. She could have just signed me up as a customer, which I probably would have continued to string her along because I didn't have the money to sign up as a customer. But she said, listen, Ashley, like I see how much you're working. You're already on social media. What if you could get the greens and make money while you use them? Light bulb moment. I want the greens. I desperately need money. Kill two birds with one stone.
And the best part about It Works is that there's no inventory, there's no commitment. So that takes away and there's no sales quota. So like for me, all the pressure was off when I heard that, none of that existed. Yeah. Angela, okay. So tell me, did you have any, you were a customer, you were loving the products, which is so awesome because I know none of us were, well, Lindsay had tried a couple of the products, Oh, no, she didn't. Okay. Sorry. I know you were approached. So tell me, Angela, what were some of your objections or what was one of your objections?
Okay. So I love the greens, and my enroller, Lauren Dial, she asked me a dozen times to join her team. She's like, I just can't stop thinking about it. Will you please join my team? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm content being a stay-at-home mom. And at the time I was, and I was like, my husband was totally against it. And I used him as my excuse. I was like, no, my husband says no. And so when I found out that he was leaving and I took a hard look at our life and I was like, what I have to do, I was like, I need to do something. So I'm not content just being a stay-at-home mom. I need to do something. And it's not as fulfilling as I thought it would be. So and even though my husband was against it, his biggest objections were, you're going to spend all this money on inventory that you're going to try to sell and nobody's going to want it. And then you're going to be stuck with it. Like all the other, companies that he has seen friends or family do. And he's like, you're going to end up spending more money than you're making. And, I was afraid of what people were going to think. So after talking to Lauren more about it, I was like, okay, well, give me the details because I'm curious. I see paying off all these bills and going on vacation. And I really want that for my family too. Like traveling is a big thing for us. We really want to be able to do that. So she was like, there's no inventory. There's no contracts. There's no quotas. And all of your customers order directly from your website and it's shipped to them from the company. And I was like, oh, well then what do I do? And she's like, you're just basically marketing and using the products and showing, your amazing results because you want them anyways. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. So I did it anyways. And I joined and I said, honey, I'm joining for $99. And he told me you have 3 months to make a profit. And I made a profit, paid back everything that I spent, including the $99 that I spent to enroll him, and made a profit in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yay. Okay, Linz, what was one of your objections?
So you guys already know I am like really bad introvert. So my thing was I have no friends. I'm not a salesperson.
She really does have friends, you guys.
I was like, I have 2 friends that I talk to, but like, I think that's everyone's objection is they are not a salesperson. They're not outgoing. But the thing about it is it's almost like, you go and buy mascara or you go to Bath and Body Works and get a candle that you love the smell of it. And then you tell everybody about it and then they go and buy it. I mean, like I've bought so much just stuff that my friends have told me about just because they raved about how much they loved it. And just on their sheer, like their recommendation. And so it's kind of like that, like Starbucks has like this genius way of marketing that they don't even have to market. So anyway, yes. And also the same thing Angela said, my husband was like, so you're just going to go and spend money on this and you're not going to do good because you're not a salesperson. You're going to have all this inventory, but you guys, I did another network I say I did it. I signed up for it. I didn't really do anything, but I bought a bunch of inventory and like almost 8 years later, I still had it. It was makeup. So yeah, those were everybody's objections.
There is. And I think we left one out and what's so funny is I think all 4 of us, I mean, we thought about it, I bet, but I know that it wasn't my number one objection. But of course, once I hit that submit button, then my mind went to this and it's, what are people going to think, right? Mm-hmm. Here I was, I had my master's degree. My husband had 3 degrees. I knew that the minute I started posting on Facebook, on social media, and I told my family, they were going to be like, what in the world are you doing? Do you not love your job? But for me, I loved my job. My job and my husband's job were not paying our bills. You know, we were in debt, but it wasn't because of stupid choices. We did everything right. We graduated high school, went to college, got our master's, went on to further education. We're paying off. We had one student loan for me and my master's, but we got pregnant with our little girl, and the whole pregnancy was perfect. And then here she was born, and 3 days later we find out she has this genetic disorder that we had no clue we were carriers of. And so because of that, we found ourselves in debt. And so yes, the opinion of others was something I thought about, but at the same time, the opinion of others were not helping us with those bills each month. My family wasn't, my friends weren't. And so I knew that, changing my family's life was going to be in the hands of Steve and I. So that is kind of why I know that I joined. And I quickly let the opinion of others kind of go by the wayside. And that doesn't mean that, I know Lynn, we all are the same way. That doesn't mean that we don't care what people think about us. It doesn't mean that we don't want everyone to enjoy our company and like us. But at the end of the day, the only people that truly matter to me is God, my family, and my friends. And my real friends have supported me throughout the whole entire process. My family, even if my family members haven't become a customer of mine, they still have supported me. And so the opinions of all the other people, it just became kind of like background noise. It just didn't matter to me. So I know that that is a number one objection from a lot of people that talk to me about that. So let's move on to products, because here we are. I know I never tried any of the products when I enrolled, and that was scary for me. And I have a couple of favorites, but Angela, why don't you tell us like one of your favorite you already said you love the greens, and maybe that's still your favorite product, but tell me, what flavor greens, or if you have another brand new product, tell us about it.
Oh, my absolute favorite, of course, was the greens. I didn't go a day without the greens. I'm Team Berry, but then they introduced the chocolate greens and the keto coffee.
So good.
Completely obsessed. I got rid of my coffee maker. I got one of those electric kettles to warm up my water with every morning, and I have to have my keto coffee with chocolate greens every single morning. It's my favorite. If I drink just regular coffee, I'm like jittery, and then I'm hungry. So I'm snacking way more often. And with my keto coffee, I drink it in the morning, and I'm completely full all the way until lunch.
That's awesome. I know so many people who love the keto coffee. I'm one of them, even though I'm not on the keto diet, and a lot of people don't know that. You can drink the coffee and not be on the diet. So Linz, tell me one of your favorite products.
So when I started in 2014, I would have to say my original favorite is the hair, skin, and nails. If you've never tried it, even if you don't need like longer hair or nails, it's just kind of, it became an obsession for me. And I still, to this day, I'm super pregnant right now. And I know there's like this perception or whatever that you have great hair and nails when you're pregnant because of prenatal vitamins, but like, honestly, prenatals don't really even touch our hair, skin, and nails as far as helping that. And so I take that as well. Approved by my OB.
Lindsay, can you believe I've never even tried the hair, skin, and nails? It just goes to show you we have so many awesome products that you don't have to try them all, right? And yeah. I just have never tried it, but I sell the heck out of it each month.
They are awesome. But also the keto coffee and chocolate greens, even still, while during pregnancy, I have used both of those. And it really does keep you full.
Yeah, it does. I drank it today and didn't eat lunch until like 3:00. Okay, Ash, tell us yours. Hey, I know you love the keto coffee and greens. Your before and after pictures are insane, but tell us something different.
Yeah, nope, I am. So our ThermoFight X is one of our new products, and it is so amazing. You guys, this product came out in the end of December, and we've sold over 250,000 bottles.
Can you believe that we are already on like our third wait list?
Yeah, that's like, I think our fourth sellout now. It's not supposed, like you have to get on a wait list to get it now. And the next shipment isn't shipping until March 22nd. Maybe a little bit before they said, but you guys, it's insane. Like we can't even get it on the shelves to keep the shelves stocked. Like we're selling out before it's ever even out of production. So
and I'm a distributor, you guys. Obviously, I'm a distributor, and I still haven't received ours. We've ordered 4 bottles, but we're trying to take care of all the people who are customers first. And my husband every day asks me, when am I going to get it? Like I keep seeing the pictures you're posting, and I'm like, I know, it's coming. I promise soon, maybe.
Yeah. Well, between the ThermoFight X and Keto Coffee, and then wraps are my other favorite thing, which we have an amazing deal on them right now. You guys, I went from a size 8, same pair of Old Navy jeans, size 8, 156 pounds in October, and I'm only 5'1", so 156 pounds don't look cute on me. That was in October of 2017. Today I weigh 125 pounds and I'm wearing the same Old Navy jeans. I can put on a size 0. Today I have on a size 2. So I can go between a 0 and a 2, but it's seriously because of the ThermoFight X I just added in at the beginning of January, but Keto Coffee, doing a keto lifestyle, and then adding in our wraps. So our wraps right now, this was what our company was founded on 18 years ago. There's 4 wraps in this zipper pouch. And you guys, like this was the product that was also probably my biggest objection into getting into this business with my background in nursing. I was like, I'm not just going to slap a fat patch on my stomach and get skinny. Like that's stupid. That doesn't work. Well, I had no idea. It was just lack of education. And that's most people. This has nothing to do with weight loss. This is a skin product. It's a skincare. It's to help tighten, tone, and firm the skin, reduce the appearance of cellulite and stretch marks. I was blessed to not get stretch marks through pregnancies, but I did have, when your stomach stretches out having a baby, it never looks the same again. And I'm sorry if you haven't had kids yet, and I just ruined it for you. It doesn't ever look the same again. And so these things were what made that skin tight again. They gave me confidence, but also they're not just like a get skinny overnight. But what I saw, you can go to the gym for 30 days and not really see like visible results, and people will get frustrated when they don't get that. We're a society of instant gratification. So when people don't get that, they throw in the towel. And so what these wraps gave me, a full treatment is 4. You can do one every 3 days. So in a matter of, 12 days, you can get a full treatment in. And I saw a dramatic difference in my skin. That gave me the motivation to make lifestyle changes. So these right now, there's 4 in here. You can get 8 for the price of 4. So it's insane what you can get right now. And this ends tomorrow night. So this is one of my favorites now after I was such a hater of the wrap.
Well, and I also think I had two C-sections, so I had that C-section flap, and I thought I was going to live in LuLaRoe leggings forever. Like I never thought I would fit into my jeans again, but I did 8 wraps, two treatments, the BOGO deal actually, because I got that in my kit, and I was shocked by how that pouch was just gone. It was all tightened and toned. I was really skeptical of the wraps, but they work.
They really do. And I think everyone, well, I can't say everyone, but I think when people, like Ashley said, they're just not educated about the wrap, because I was the same way. The way the wrap was explained to me was that it was weight loss, and it's not weight loss, it's cosmetic. So that's why, people who pay money for Botox, people who do the gastro surgery, like nothing in this world is permanent.
Get your hair highlighted.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, cosmetic. So real quick, I'm going to tell you guys my favorite product is the Defining Gel, which is the sister product to the wrap. I use it every day, and I have used it every day for the last 4 years as my moisturizer. I absolutely love it. It has the same products as the wrap. It's just very diluted so you can use it for everyday use. We call it liquid gold in our company because I have seen it help with bug bites, sunburns, eczema, psoriasis, anything you can think of, it's helped with. My whole family uses it. In fact, we really do go through like 2 to 3 bottles a month. It's crazy. Love it. And then the other product that I can't live without is the probiotic. So like Ashley said, she's lost 30 pounds in the last couple of months. I decided in October of 2016, so a year before Ash, I was going to become a product of the product. And so for the last 3 years, I have used Fat Fighters, the probiotic, and I've drank my skinny, keto coffee probably 3 days a week, 4 days a week. And I have successfully have lost 35 or 32 pounds and I've maintained it. And so when you look at our products, it's not a quick fix. It's definitely, we want you guys to use them in your lifestyle. They're meant to go hand in hand with a healthy diet, exercise, of course. So it's all of the above, but our products are amazing. They do work, but it's just like anything, you guys, you have to stay consistent with it. Even if you go to GNC and buy something, if you're not using it the way it's intended to be used, you're not going to see the results that you want. So kind of in closing, we have about 7 more minutes before we need to turn this away. We don't want you guys to stay all day watching us. But I kind of want to just know, because of it works, like, where are you guys? And I'll tell mine later. But Lindsay, just because of it works, how is your life now, 5 years later? Almost 5 years later.
Yeah, so my 5-year anniversary is next week, which is kind of crazy because I've been doing this longer than my engineering job that I went to school for 4 years. So, I mean, I could probably write a book. Really, no, but so what started as just me being selfish and wanting extra money to get my nails done without my husband making comments. Those of you who have spouses, you know what I'm talking about. But it turned from that to like this whole, like, it opened my eyes to what was possible, just not only for me and my family, but for others. And that, corporate America is great and all for a lot of people. But for me, once I got a little bit of taste of what freedom was like, it was like, that's all I wanted. And so the month after I quit my job, so I was with the company for 13 months and then I quit my job, which people thought I was crazy because I had a great job, great benefits, a stable company, power company. So a month after I did that, we found out that I was pregnant with our first child. And it's kind of crazy how it's all just played out. And I've been home with him. He's 3 now. And now we're about to have our second one. And I just can't imagine having to go back to work full time. I mean, I worked in a cubicle all day long. And there are moments throughout the day, all the time, that I'm like, golly, if I were working right now, I would totally be missing this moment right here where my son is speaking a clear word. Just stuff like that you don't really, you take for granted, that, you don't realize it until you actually have that moment. And then you're like, man, I would be, looking out the window at a tree right now but I mean, really. So that was my view every day at work, was the window outside the parking lot. And now it's at home right here. I get to do this and I'm in my pajamas, y'all. How cool is that?
That's so awesome. Okay. Angela, so what does your life look like now? Like, because of it works.
All right. So because of it works, I'm still the stay-at-home mom that I was before, but I've lost 36 pounds. I've gone from a size 12 down to a size 6. I have almost matched my husband's active duty military pay. I earned a $10,000 bonus, about to claim a $15,000 bonus for myself and another $10,000 for my husband. And last month I was able to pay every single household bill from just the income that I've earned from my little side hustle job.
That's so amazing. I love that. So when are you going to get that $15,000 bonus?
Very soon.
Very soon. Yay!
I
I love the bonuses. Our company, something that I haven't spoken about is that our company is really big on being debt free. So, I mean, in the whole entire 5 years that I've been a part of It Works, we've always had bonuses. And they have ranged from crazy amounts to, I mean, sometimes he doubles the bonuses. I think it just depends on how our CEO is feeling that, particular conference year. But they are so generous with their bonuses. And I know, Lindsay, how much in bonuses have you and Eddie earned?
Oh gosh, almost 300,000 over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so we were able to pay off like all of his student loans and pay cash for a rental property. So
yeah. So Steve and I have earned over $250,000 in bonuses alone. Crazy. Okay, Ash, because of It Works, tell us about your life, and then also tell us how much you and Jeremiah have earned as well.
So because of It Works, 10 months into the business, that career that I was working 60 hours a week, I was able to turn in my ID, give my kids my stethoscope as part of their dress up toys now. And I came home full time. And you guys, it's just crazy because my student loans were one of the biggest things holding us back. My student loans weren't supposed to be paid off till 2030. And we paid off every single bit of my student loans in 2014, 16 years early. If we wouldn't have had this opportunity, we would still be paying for our student loans when our kids went to college, which was insane. But you guys, like, it's just, we're both home full time. My husband started a lawn company because he said he was sick of being Mr. Laundry after our kids both went to school full time. And so he has a lawn company that he does. But we packed up just randomly on a whim in April this past year. We lived in Missouri. And we just said, like, what are we doing? Like, it's still snowing in April. Like, why are we doing this? And that was on a Thursday. On Monday, we put our dream house that we had built because of this business. We put it on the market and it sold for asking price 2 weeks later. And you guys, we live at Pensacola Beach now. And it's crazy. But something, I posted on my Instagram the other day, a quote that said, "You were someone before you were their mom, and that person matters." And you guys, like, this is probably my biggest aha moment is I think speaking to you women, if you're married, if you have a job, if you have children, you become this person. I was Kate and Sophia's mom. I was Jeremiah's wife, and I was a nurse. Who was Ashley? Like, I lost that person. I didn't know who I was anymore. I lost all my confidence. I lost my drive and my ambition and my spark and spunk to be like somebody that could, when you're that little girl or that child, you're told you can be anything you want to be. But then somewhere in adulthood, we lose that and we fall into this like cattle, like I felt like I was in a cattle like trap where you just follow the person in front of you and you just check off the boxes. And then you go home and you watch reality TV so you can check into somebody else's life to make your life seem like it's not such a hot mess because you're watching their reality. And so this business helped me find me again. It made me find a purpose in my passion has always been helping people. I loved being a nurse, but this allows me to not just tap into mommies that are having babies and need help with breastfeeding and need help taking care of a newborn. I can touch college students. I can touch grandparents. I can touch my neighbor. I've got team in Australia. I've got team in Norway. And this business gave me back a purpose outside of just being all these other titles. And so it truly, like, it sounds so corny, but it gave me this like title of hope broker where I can give people hope to find themselves again. And so that's what all of us are, is we truly are just providing hope to people. Hope that you can get rid of that C-section pouch that you hate. Hope that you can get your energy back. Hope that you can lose some weight. Hope that you can clear up the cystic acne on your face. Hope that you can get out of debt. Hope that you can take your family to Disney. Whatever those may be, like, we're just providing solutions to people. And that's what this business has filled me up so much, because I can fill people up from so many more aspects in life.
That's what it's done for me. And I love that, as we all join this company for a reason. And I think, the longer you stay in, the more your why evolves and changes. And for me, I told you guys earlier that I joined for Caroline. I joined for that extra, $200 or $500 a month to pay off her medical debt, because we spend anywhere from on a good month, $800 to a bad month, $3,000. It just depends. We get no assistance in the state of Missouri because we had made too much money as educators. And, I know some of you guys are watching are probably in education, and that you don't get into that profession for the money. You do it for your passion. And so that was my passion. I never thought that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And as I share so many times, I think that I never thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because I never thought I was going to ever see that option. Ever. I was 19 when I met my husband, and I fell in love with a teacher, and we ended up getting married when I was 24. And, I just never dreamt that that was never going to be in our cards, especially after Caroline was born and we had that extra expense. And so I joined because I wanted to pay off the debt so I could have a second child. I remember my husband looking at me saying, we cannot afford a second child, because if our second child has PKU, then we just can't afford it, Amy. We will never find ourselves out of debt. And so that being taken away from me, I was like, oh no, I'm going to find a way for us to have that second baby. And so I joined this thinking that this would be the answer. And what's so crazy about life, and I know so many people that haven't had to have a plan B yet, right? Their life has gone exactly the way that they wanted it to. And I love cheering those people on. But I also know that life can surprise you, and life can take away things, and life can rip you of your dreams. And, maybe it's because I turned 34 yesterday, but I sure as heck thought at 24 when I married my husband that at 34, our lives would look so different. It would be filled with kids. It would be just so different than what it is now. And 5 months into this business, you guys, I started going through infertility, and infertility is expensive. Infertility is hard. Infertility is like a death. And, if it wasn't for the friendships that I had made in Knitworks, I probably wouldn't have gotten through that first year, honestly. Having something else to focus on and knowing that I was doing this to hopefully expand our family one day and pay off Caroline's medical bills was so cool. And, it's been 5 years, and we have gotten to try everything we've wanted to under the sun with the infertility. And I know our story is, not complete on that side. And I cannot wait to see the doors and what God has, in store for us. But in the meantime, you guys, I'm living every day, and I'm knowing that this company has given me the freedom of time. And the freedom of time means that I got to spend 2 years before Caroline went to kindergarten with her every single day. I didn't miss a moment. I was able to go on play dates with her. And then now that she's in school, I take her to school. I pick her up. I'm the PTA president at her school. Yes, I'm crazy, but I am there for every single thing. And just the last Valentine's Day party, this past Valentine's Day, Caroline looked at me and she said, I am so glad that you're at my school for everything. She said, do you know how many kids who told us that their moms and dads can't come? And there's nothing against working people. I would have been one of those people, but what it means to my child and what it means to me. And, I always say this, she probably won't remember that Valentine's Day party in 12 years, 13 years. I know she won't, but I will. And I never thought that she would be an only child, and she is right now. And because of this company, I've never had to miss anything. And I cannot tell you guys how thankful and grateful that makes me feel, and how I want to help so many people, because I know there's so many people that I'm friends with on social media that may have some of these things going on that they're afraid to say, and they're having those struggles with money. And I don't know about y'all, but this is the only industry I've ever that I know of that you literally can write your own paycheck. Mm-hmm. How hard you work. I know our team is working our booties off the last 2 months, and I'm probably going to have a couple $1,000 pay raise next month. And that is insane to me. So you guys, like they stated earlier, it's $20 to join. $20. I mean, that's in my Starbucks drink is like $6. So that's like literally 3 Starbucks. That's getting your nails done. That's going and looking for change in dollar bills at your house. but it can completely change your life. And you have no sales or no monthly, weekly sale quotas. You have no commitment, no inventory, none of that. And so my biggest piece of advice to you is, if this has been in your mind and if you've made it all 32 minutes, 34 minutes, whatever, then go talk to the person who invited you on to watch this, who sent you this link, and just figure out what this is all about and just give it a try. And if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, then at least you know you tried something different and you stepped outside your comfort zone. So you guys, thank you so much for getting on today. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. We definitely didn't want to do it on YouTube, but guess what? It works. And we figured it out. So everyone, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And thank you so much, ladies.
Thanks, Amy. Bye, guys.